Hey everybody, welcome. I am back 7 years later. Still going to do some zodiac today. By the way, I am thinking about turning this YouTube channel into a zodiac / poetry channel. That's why I've changed my name. I also have a Patreon. It's linked in the description or something like that on my YouTube page, and it's poetry based. So if you like poetry based, check it out and let me know if you think I should turn this platform or this page into a uh poetry based page, and then I do zodiacs as I go, because the last time I did a zodiac video it was about 7 years ago. So we're not really moving as rapidly as I thought. I started this whole process. I was going to do Taurus woman with every male zodiac sign, and it was supposed to last, maybe, I knew it would last about a year or two, but I didn't expect 12 years. I started this 12 years ago. And the reason why I knew it was going to last a little bit longer than normal, because I like to go off lived experience, not just what's on the internet. So I didn't want to talk about a sign like, um, oh no, I've dated Sagittarius. Sagittarius is not a fixed sign, but they act fixed sometimes. But um, I'm trying to think of a sign. Um, a sign I have not a lot of lived experience with. A friend, or I mean, you don't have to have a romantic relationship with the person, but as long as, I feel like you should have some sort of personal experience with each sign to really, really speak on it. Otherwise, you can just read the internet. I'm trying to see a sign. Actually, before my partner, who's a Libra, by the way, we're going to be getting into Libra man, Taurus woman. Before meeting him, I had no Libra friends, and I had never dated a Libra, and so I didn't have a lot of lived experience with Libra. So I would never have made this video. I've been with my Libra partner for almost 5 years, and yeah. So now I have a lot of Libra stuff to unpack, and what the internet says, what my research says, what my intuition says, and what my expertise says. Before I get into this, I would like to show you a book that I've discovered since my last video with you guys, and this is called The Secret Language of Relationships. And what I love most about this book is it gives you the week you were born versus the week of your partner. So it's like a zodiac compatibility astrology or whatever, but it's more condensed. So I'm taking just me versus a Libra. In general, it's me, Libra. I think I'm considered the cusp of power. My Leo is actually another cusp, but I don't know what it's called. And then you take the week he was born, the week I was born. They give you more of a detailed description on that. Really recommend this. I got this from a friend of mine that's not really my friend anymore, or we just having an off moment. But you can't make Tauruses mad. We will delete everybody from our world if you piss us off. So that's kind of what happened. But shout out to her, because she's the one who told me about this book, and I love it, and I want to recommend it to everybody. But anyway, quickly, we'll be going over a Taurus woman versus in compatibility with a Libra man. We're going to talk about each sign briefly. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, maybe the ugly if there's ugly, and then if this can work or not. Then I'm going to give it a final rating. So, Taurus woman, as I stated in each of my videos that I post sporadically every 5-6 years at this point now, Tauruses wear a fixed sign, which makes us very stubborn, very unmovable, very unwavering, very strong, very bounded. And we're earth signs, so we're earth fixed. Taurus woman, we're super loyal. I don't say that just because I'm a Taurus, but Taurus woman is the most loyal woman in the zodiac. Taurus women don't cheat. I believe we will cheat back, because as a Taurus, I will tell you that cheating back is not even a real thing, because the first person that cheated basically ended the contract of a relationship, meaning loyalty, communication, honesty, integrity, all that. You ended that when you check, when you, I was about to say when you chat on a Taurus, when you cheated, when you cheated on a Taurus. So a Taurus is the type where she's not a cheater. A Taurus will get her revenge if depending on how evolved she is or how hurt she is by the situation. I sometimes do both. I will get my revenge and then walk away, or I'll just walk away. But a Taurus will do either or. But a Taurus will never, ever, ever, ever cheat first. She's very true to herself. She will might do something to get you back. Super loyals, very passionate, very deep thinkers, kind of loners, kind of introverted, and kind of super calm. But this is a sign that you don't want to fuck around and find out, because a Taurus will make you find out, and you don't want to find out. Trust me. Let this be a warning. You don't want to find out. Now you have a Libra. Oh, also Taurus is ruled by love, by Venus, the planet of love. Then you have Libra man. Libra man is a cardinal air sign. And so what that means, a Libra man is like the initiator. They're usually like the trendsetter. They're very, if you see them in the party, they are very sociable people. Usually have a lot of friends, and well dressed, well mannered. They kind of have a good image, but we'll probably unpack the deeper thing behind the image. But anyway, um, Libra man in love is loyal, is passionate, and Libra does a lot of love bombing. I've never been love bombed this hard in my life. I'll tell you that part. But Libra's love bombing, what I've learned, um, not from just my relationship, but learning about other people's relationships and stuff that's dated Libras, is that that's just a thing. They do it whether they're really in love or not. It's just who they are. So where a Taurus is ruled by the planet of Venus as well, we're ruled by love. We are very practical and very honest. Very, what you see is what you get. In Libras, they say, lying Libras can not be honest all the time. And that's one of the, I guess, negatives we'll talk about a little bit later. So I'll try to keep this under between 15-25 minutes, because it doesn't need to be that long. Anyway, so the good. There's actually a lot of good here. This is a very unconventional match as a self proclaimed astrologer. Excuse me. I would never match up a Taurus with any of the air signs. I think these are usually typically horrible. A Taurus and a Gemini, horrible. A Taurus and an Aquarius, which was my first love, by the way, horrible. Taurus and Libra, had I not been in a relationship with a Libra right now, I would say horrible, because I just don't think naturally these signs, a fixed Earth with with any of the air signs, they just have very different thinking protocols. Um, Tauruses have a broader understanding of the universe, the world, and we're with emotions and stuff. And while Libras can also be very emotional, they are usually um, a little bit self-centered, and they will do whatever to protect themselves first versus others, even though that's not what they present all the time. When you get to know them a little bit deeper, you discover that. So the good is they're both ruled by the planet of love. There's a lot of love bombing on the Libra's end, but there's a lot of giving in this relationship, which I wouldn't have known if I, didn't wait around to either end up dating a Libra, or, having friends dating a Libra, or understanding Libras more. Is what I'm finding out is that with these two signs, it's a lot of giving. These two, because These two are I think they're the only two planets ruled by Venus. Let me actually double check. I said only planets, only signs ruled by Venus, because this is one of their strongest points. Luckily, I got my computer here. Yep. Them being both ruled by Venus is what saves this relationship. It's what gives it the grade that I'm going to give it at the end. Without both of them being ruled by Venus, this I don't think could ever work. It's the idea of love, and when a Taurus female's with a Libra man, they're living in a kind of like, I want to compare this to a Pisces, which everybody knows Pisces live in La La Land, right? When you get a Libra man ruled by Venus and a Taurus female ruled by Venus, the only two signs ruled by Venus, it's just an experience you can't really experience with any other sign combination, because it's love on love on love. So they're living in a bubble of romance. Taurus love romance. Libras love romance. Very, 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 very romantic relationship here. And it's their connection to Venus, which is why this relationship can easily work in comparison to the other air signs. So what else is good? Um, Tauruses don't really like to be controlled. Libra doesn't try to control. Libras are very friendly and very sociable, and that makes Taurus feel um, at home to open up. Taurus is females, we take a long time to open up, but when we meet a Libra, it, maybe it's the love, but it's something there that just makes the Tauruses open up and feel at home. And I will say, I haven't been in a lot of relationships at all. Okay, I've been in just a couple. But the relationships are the experience I've had. I can't say that I would say this is the relationship where I felt the most comfortable. The relationship where I can almost be me to completeness, almost. Taurus, we got a lot of stuff going on in our head, but um the Libra man will make the Taurus woman feel just naturally open. Conversations will flow easily. There's never a dull moment. And where Taurus fall behind as far as being very stagnant and very stuck in her ways and very boring, right? The Libra brings out the excitement, the fun, the liveliness, because that's who they are in essence. Now, my Libra, he's on the cusp, so um, he's technically a Libra, but he's kind of a Virgo as well. And I think the reason why we actually made it this long is because of his Virgo traits. He, in a relationship, I always say this about him, he's more of a Virgo in relationships. Um, than anything. It feels like I'm dating a Virgo most of the time until we're walking outside and he knows everybody, and everybody knows Virgo men. They don't really fuck with people. They don't have a lot of friends. They're very within themselves. But he's very much like dating a Virgo man. Um, so that's good. What else am I? Oh, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything good. Um, a lot of comfort here. We talked about love, but Venus is also the planet of comfort. They both like comfort. They both love beauty. They both love things of value. Me, I like good food. I like nice furniture. I like a nice cute bag. You know, my boyfriend, he's a Libra. He likes fancy clothes, nice jewelry, and a nice visual. And that's just two Venus signs connecting with each other. It's going to look good. This match is going to look like a very visual, appealing match. Wherever they go, there's going to be style, there's going to be comfort. There's going to be luxury. There's going to be all that good lovey-dovey Venus stuff, you know? Now, the bad here is I just think one of the bads we'll talk about is the lying Libra. Libras will lie at the drop of a dime, and I think that's actually all of the air signs. They'll lie to benefit themselves very, very quickly. I feel that I've learned that Libras can be a little selfish and a little self-centered. They can also be, oh my God, I hope this video doesn't turn off. It says I'm running out of space, so I hope I'm not. But anyway, let's wrap this up. So a Libra is going to be, a Libra man is going to sometimes have too many friends. Tauruses, we like very, 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 very small group of people. Libra, they just know everybody. They're always talking to everybody. They know so many people. They the life of the party, and that's not naturally what Taurus woman looks for in a man. She actually likes the opposite. Also, I always recommend for a Taurus woman to get a strong partner, one that is probably fixed. Honestly, even though the fixed signs can be more difficult, a Taurus needs some friction to settle her down or to soothe her or to, for the lack of a better term, put her in her place, because a Taurus will literally, if you let a Taurus overpower you, we will just overpower you. We don't know how to not overpower if you let us. So we actually need that very strong Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, even though I don't recommend the Aquarius, but those fixed signs can really, another Taurus, those signs are bold and big enough to settle a Taurus down, because naturally we don't want to settle down, especially when we're angry. When these two fight, it'll always most likely be the Libra to apologize, because the Taurus is unmovable, and the Libra is the cardinal sign. They are the trendsetters, but they're more likely to bend. They're more likely to apologize. A Taurus has to really, really, really have fucked up to apologize. A Libra, though, another thing about Libra, a Libra is more likely to apologize just to go along to get along. And if a Taurus feel the inauthenticity of the apology, she'll get mad. If a Taurus feel the unauthenticity of a sorry, of a or can see right through a lie, it will cause immediate friction. I think the biggest problem here is that a Libra man and a Taurus woman, what is the biggest problem? They actually don't have a lot of big problems. I was thinking of something. I was going to say something, but I don't think that was accurate. They don't have a lot of big issues. I just naturally wouldn't put these two together. However, they work pretty fine. Now, can these two work? These two actually can honestly just fly over the radar. You don't know how they got together. You can't believe they're still together. You don't know how they was together for so long. They just mesh well with each other. I actually don't have a lot bad to say about these, except that in order to evolve as a Taurus woman, sometimes, I hate to say it as a Taurus woman, but we need that friction. We need that challenge. And sometimes, most of the time, a Libra man won't challenge because they just want to get along, and they want to avoid drama at all costs. They want to avoid drama so much that they'll lie through their teeth. They'll disengage. And Libras are very good at changing the topic. Okay, or maybe that's just my Libra. Change the topic to something positive. Oh, a Taurus, you can't do that. We need to keep it real first, and then we can make up later. A Libra man wants to never keep it real if it means having an uncomfortable conversation. They just want to make love and be happy. That don't work with a Taurus. That is the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. When it comes to communication, I think the Libra wants to avoid problems, and a Taurus, bullheaded, we want to chase that problem. We want to knock that problem down, and a Libra wants to pretend that problem doesn't exist. My phone's going to cut off in a minute because it says I'm running out of storage, so I'm gonna talk real quick. If it cuts off, it is what it is. That's the end of the video. Bye. But if it doesn't cut off, score is 8. I give this an 8. I debated between a 9 and a 7. I really want to give it a 7 because I feel like it's still an unconventional match. However, it flows so easily, I can't give it. I have to give it an 8. I can't give it a 9 because I think the Taurus and the Libra, although there's a lot of love and there's not a lot of, I think the Libra lacks the intensity, the depth that a Taurus craves. The Taurus woman craves depth and stability. That's another thing. Libras are not as stable. They can be, but they're not as stable in a relationship as a Taurus would like. In Taurus, we need stability to even move to the next level. This relationship also can move very, very, very fast because when they meet, everything kind of just flows naturally. So it can definitely work. It could be a great marriage, great friendship. I think it could kind of be great everything, honestly. The Libra man has to be careful not to sacrifice his true feelings and for the sake of peace. That's not what the Taurus wants, and that's not what he really wants. But a Libra guy will typically think he's doing the right thing by going along to get along, and a Taurus woman doesn't like that. I can't give this a 9, like I said, because it's just an unconventional match. It's an unconventional pair. I would never tell a deep earth sign to go with a air sign. Their thinking is just very different. But this, if you're going to go with air signs, this will be your best match. It flows easily. But I think one of the things I don't like about this match, and I hope my boyfriend doesn't watch this because that means I said a bunch of good stuff, but I got to keep it real, is that there's a lack of, the Taurus will force the Libra to grow because the Taurus female, we're bullheaded. We're going to call you out on your shit. The problem here, though, is that the Libra won't call the Taurus out. If the Libra tries to call the Taurus out, the Libra will end up backing down because the Taurus, we're bullheaded. We fight head first. And so it is harder to get the Taurus to evolve. When you're in a relationship, you want to constantly be evolving with each other because of one another. And I think that the Taurus may get the short end of the stick of the evolution from her partner. However, this can also be a good thing because it just makes, there's very little friction here, I guess. This is why I have to kind of give it an 8. It's very little friction, but it's unconventional. I wouldn't say a Taurus should go find a Libra, but if you found a Libra, I think that it's a good match. I know that it can work out, and it's a love on love on love. It's almost like every day you're living in a romantic movie, a romantic fantasy. And part of the problem is part of it is a fantasy. These two can really get lost up in the fantasy of it all. They can get so obsessed with each other and the love that sometimes portions of it is not, accurate to the reality of the situation. So with that being said, that was 23 minutes. I hope this helped somebody out. If you are dating Libra, this is a safe bet, super, super safe. If you are a Libra man dating a Taurus and you find she's very hard-headed, strong, and you're waiting for her to change, it's not gonna happen, okay? She's not gonna change. To be softer. She is a little cuckoo, and don't make her mad. When these two get mad, this Taurus female will turn into a beast. And then when she's done being angry, she'll go back to being her soft little self. But be careful. The biggest thing for a Libra, if you're the Libra man, lead with honesty. That's the biggest advice I can give you. Do not lie to your Taurus female. She can see right through you, and she'll never trust you. She'll put it in the back of her head. I don't care how small the lie is or how big the lie is. Don't lie. Be open. Be honest. Be vulnerable. And that Taurus woman will love you like you've never been loved before, because that's what we do. We are the lovers of the zodiac. We heal the hearts of the broken zodiac signs. But anyway, with that being said, it was a pleasure to do this video. I'll be back in 45 years. No, but for real, you guys, sorry I haven't been posting. I don't think I got anybody on standby waiting on a video. But my last video I think I did was a Cancer and Taurus. That one got like 54,000 views, which is the highest views I've ever gotten. So shout out to everybody who watched that video. It was one of the videos I actually didn't like too much, but I'm glad that you guys did like it. So hopefully somebody finds some interest in this video and they love it just as much. So this is a good match. Bye guys. Oh, I forgot to mention I have a mic now, so the sound should be a little bit better. Bye.